Hi there, and welcome to the very new channel, All You Need to Know About Tattooing, Line by Line by Steve Lee. And as you've probably gathered today, we're going to be talking about health and hygiene supplies for the tattoo studio, as well as we're going to be going in depth how to make your own stencil fluids that will last just as long, as if not longer, than the store-bought fluids. We'll also be talking about heptograph and carbon papers, how to make your own stencils using the new stencil fluid that I'll teach you how to make and apply them. So without further ado, we'll clear all this lot off the table and then we'll get started. So let's talk about some health and hygiene products for the tattoo studio to give you a better working environment and a better environment for your clients. Now all these products were purchased in the UK, and I'm supposing that in the US you've got similar kind of products just with different brand names. So let's start out with the most basic of the basic, a bleach. Kills all known germs dead, has been used in tattoo studios for decades, and diluted down. You can put this into a squirty bottle container to clean off surface areas, diluted down. Now also you can buy the Dettol brand, which again kills 99.9% of all germs. Again, you can squirt this down. Now the only difference really between this and by diluting your bleach down and putting it into one of these squirty containers is that bleach is a very corrosive thing, and the mechanisms inside of the squitters don't tend to last very long when you're using bleach. So I tend myself to use things like bleaches and things like that for floors and wipes, and to use this for my surfaces. This kills 99.9% of all known germs dead. This can be thrown into buckets for mopping and wiping down, into bowls and wiping down areas as well if need be. Like I say, you can't put it into these containers, but beware that they are very corrosive for the spring mechanisms and the valve mechanisms on the splitty sprays. They tend not to last very long. So let's moving on from that. You've got hand sanitizers. And these items are all coming from, like say, budget pound stores. So it kills 99.9% of all germs dead. And goes without saying, something like this from a pound store or a local thrift store, budget shop, you know, put one of these in every single room in the studio, you know, from the toilets into the main studio, into the office. You know, have one of these handy wherever you go in, a quick squirt of these, and use them with the same kind of capacity as you would do in a hospital as you were walking around before you were entering one room to the other. A quick squirt of this and then enter the area that you're going to keep the place of work a sterile environment. Again, something that you can purchase is another hand cleaner, hand wash cleaner for the toilet areas, you know, sanitising hand cleaners. We can't have too many of those around. And also one of the other essential items for health and hygiene in the studio is Dettol, and this has got a multitude of uses, one of them which I'm going to be teaching you later on. So this is one section of the hygiene in a studio, and that's for cleaning down the floors, cleaning down of your surfaces, and also hand sanitisation for yourself and your clients, as well as aftercare and keeping that tattoo clean after you've done it. So that was the front line measure of the health and hygiene in the tattoo studio, and that's covering the floors, the work surfaces, your hands before and during the tattoo process. So let's talk about the barrier preventative measure beforehand and during the tattoo process. And for that, you're going to need a few items. You're going to need kitchen roll to help sanitise and prepare, as well as for the cleaning down of your customer during the tattooing. You're going to need some vinyl or rubber gloves for setting up beforehand, and obviously to wear as a barrier when you're tattooing your client. You're going to need some plastic disposable cups for when you're cleaning and rinsing out those tattoo needles and tubes during the process of tattooing. You're going to need some Vaseline, and that's got a multitude of uses, and we'll talk about that later on. You're going to need some form of spatula, whether it be these wooden tongue depressor type spatulas that you can get off eBay or from your tattoo supplier. You can also use the plastic knives for parties that you can get from budget stores or pound shops. They work just as well, or you can get these cheap enough off eBay or from your tattoo supplier. Obviously you're going to need disposable waste bags to put all your rubbish in. Elastic bands to wrap up your tattoo machines, the baggies on your tattoo machines, and also for the tensioning of your needles if you're using a standardised coil method. If you're going to be using rotary, we'll go into that at a later date anyway when we're going to the setting up of the tattoo machine, the geometry of tattoo machines, how and why a certain tattoo machine is used as a shader, a colour packer or a liner, and we'll go in depth into elastic bands on the actual tensioning arms for that, as well as we'll be going into rotary as well. You're going to need some baggies to bag up your tattoo machines. You know, you can purchase baggies off eBay or from your tattoo supplier, or you can just get 500 freezer bags that do exactly the same thing for, you know, a tenth of the cost. You're going to need some form of cling film or saran wrap or plastic wrap to wrap up your area, whether it be the workstation that you're using, the bed, the armrest and your seating. Also, some form of covering for your tattoo clipcord cables. You can buy these professional ones that actually go over. You can get those again off eBay or from your tattoo supplier, or you can just go with wrapping it in cling film or saran wrap. Does exactly the same and it's cheaper. Right, so from there are a few other items that you may want to use while you're doing it and in the tattooing process, but these are the main items that you're going to be needing to set up the area to give yourself a clean environment so you've got a hot and a cold spot to work from. And we'll be going in that in depth later on. But for now, these are the items that you can purchase pretty much any budget or pound store to actually get you going to have a hygienic situation for your studio. There is no need for your studio to be an unhygienic environment for yourself to work in and for your client to be in. If you've liked the video series so far, please like, subscribe and hit the bell. And also feel free to comment.